Alrighty, Trans Math 3, Unit 1, Lesson 6. Okay, you got your skills maintenance on page 15, which you will find in your own folder on OneNote. So you should pause the video, work on that. Okay, now that we're back after you paused, let's go through multiplying fractions. So the first one, 4/5 times 2/3. In order to multiply fractions, top times top, bottom times bottom. So here we will get 8 over 15. There we need to look for a greatest common factor between 8 and 15. So again, I always start with that smaller number. Okay, my factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. Then we're going to look to see, do any of those factors go into 15? In this case, they do not. So we are simplified already. Okay, moving to the next one. 3 times 1, we get 3. 9 times 3, we get 27. So looking at that smaller number, 3, our factors are 1 and 3. So I got to look. 1 always goes into every number, every whole number, I should say. And then, but that's not going to help us simplify. So we got to see, does 3 go into 27? Which it does. So then in that case, we're going to divide both top and bottom by 3. And we're going to get 1 over 9. That is the simplified form of 3/27. Okay, moving forward. 6 times 1, 8 times 10. Okay, my factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. Okay, so we got to look. Start with the biggest number of your factors. 6. 6 does not go into 80. 3 does not go into 80 as well, but I know 2 will. Okay, so we're going to divide top and bottom by 2, and we get 3/40. Okay, so we should be good there. Okay, activity 2, dividing. In order to divide, we need to keep, change, flip, or we're going to, I'll also refer to it as multiply by the reciprocal. You keep the first fraction, change division to multiplication, and then flip your second fraction. Then multiplying just like normal, top times top, bottom times bottom, 20 over 5, which will simplify because our factors of 5 are 1 and 5. 5 goes into 20, so we're going to divide top and bottom by 5. We get 4 over 1, which we will just say is 4. Okay, now we got a whole number. We can write all whole numbers as fractions. That's just putting it over 1. Keep, change, flip. So really, we just have 6 times 2 here, 12 over 1, or just 12. Okay, same thing, 3/8 times 4 over 1. So we get 12 over 8. My factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. I know 4 goes into both of those, so divide top and bottom by 4, and you get 3/2. Okay, there is your skills maintenance for today. So today's objective is add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. We've done multiplying, we've done dividing. Now adding and subtracting are a little bit harder. Okay, so when we add or subtract fractions, we need to have same fair shares. Now, easier way to think about it, we need to have common denominators. Okay, 2 and 3 are denominators in this case. They are not common. So what we need to find is that least common multiple of 2 and 3. Okay, so common multiple is we're doing the multiples of 2, so just counting by 2s and then counting by 3s. And then you're finding the least, so the first number that's common, which in this case is 6. So we want to get 1/2 to have a denominator of 6, and we want to have the 1/3 with a denominator of 6. We're finding equivalent fractions. So basically, how am I getting from 2 to 6? How am I getting from 3 to 6? I'm going to multiply by, I'm going to multiply 2 times 3. So if I multiply the denominator by 3, that means I have to multiply the numerator by 3. So 3/6 is an equivalent fraction to 1/2. Okay, to get to 3 to 6, we're going to multiply by 2. So multiply by 2, so 2/6. 2/6 is an equivalent fraction to 1/3. So all I'm going to do is replace this 1/2 with 3/6. So this is going to be 3/6. And the same idea here. The 1/3 we're going to replace with 2/6. Okay, and then now that we have a common denominator, add our numerators, we get 5, and the denominator does not change. So we get an answer of 5/6. Okay, this is just a visual of how it works. Okay, the 1/2, if this is one whole, okay, half of that's representing 1/2. We need to split that into 3/6. Okay, just if you can follow what I did up here, that's going to work better. This is just a little visual. Okay, just like we did, 1/2 is equivalent to 3/6, 1/3 is equivalent to 2/6, which allows us to actually add the two fractions. Okay, when we multiply, we do not need to change the denominator. Again, when we multiply fractions, it's just top times top, bottom times bottom. So 3/8 in that case. We did that in our skills maintenance. Okay, divide fractions. We're going to keep, change, flip. 5/8 times 8/1. Okay, so then 40/8. Okay, now greatest common factor, factors of 8, 1, 2, 4, and 8. 8, it goes into 40, so divide top and bottom by 8. 48 is the same as 5/1, or just 5. Now, since you're multiplying, you could actually simplify right there and change those 8s to 1 as well. A lot of us will not see that step right away, so then you got to go through it, find that greatest common factor, and divide by that greatest common factor. Okay, moving on. We're going to look at reciprocals. Okay, reciprocal, all we're going to do, that's where we say keep, change, flip, where we flip the fraction. Okay, the numerator goes to the denominator goes to the numerator. So in this case, 5/1, this case 4/7, 17/25, in this case 1/2. Flip the fraction, that is what the reciprocal is. Okay, so and again, multiplying by reciprocal. So if you take 1/5 and you multiply by its reciprocal, okay, if you notice, all you're doing is flipping it, so you're going to have that number that's in the denominator in the numerator now. What you're going to notice is you get whatever number you get on top, it will be the same on bottom, which in the end means 1. 5/5, that's just 1. And if you do this all the way through this whole table here, you will see something that happens when we multiply by a number's reciprocal. Let's get through here, find the page. Okay, you notice every 1/5 times 5/1, 7/4 times its reciprocal, 25/17 times 17/25. We're all multiplying by the reciprocal, and what you notice, or should notice, you will always get 1 when you multiply a number by its reciprocal. Okay, so you should stop the video and work on your apply skills. Okay, strategy for division is keep, change, flip. Whoop. Or again, multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so 4/7 times 7/1, 28/7. We can divide by 7, or 4/1 to give us 4. Okay, adding, we need to find that least common multiple of 6 and 9. I know if I just count by 6s, 6, 12, 18, 9, 9, 18. Okay, so 18, I'm going to change that 8/9 to have a denominator of 18, multiply both top and bottom by 2. So 8 times 2, I get 16. 1 6, I need to get that with a denominator of 18. I'm going to multiply both top and bottom by 3. So 3 18ths, so 16 18ths plus 3 18ths, that will give me 19 18ths for my answer. So our strategy for addition, find a common denominator. Okay, there are going to be some cases when adding and subtracting where you only have to change one of them. Okay, you got 2 and you got 4. Multiples of 2, 2, 4, 4. 4 is your common denominator. So all you need to do is change that 1/2 to have a denominator of 4, multiply top and bottom by 2, and you get 2/4. So we got 3/4 minus 2/4 to give us 1/4. Now the easiest of all the operations is multiplying. Just multiply straight across. And we get 3/5 times 2/3 to give us 6/15. Simplifying is probably the hardest process of this one. 1, 2, 3, and 6 are my factors of 6. I know that 3 goes into 15, 6 does not. So we're going to divide top and bottom by 3 to get 2/5. Okay, find the missing. If you notice, they're all equal to 1 on the left side there, and 1, 4, and 7. In order to what you need to multiply to get 1 is multiplying by the reciprocal. So 3/5 times 5/3, 6 times 1 6, 1/8 times 8/1, or just 8. You notice on the next 2, 5, and 8, they're all multiplying reciprocals, so those should all equal 1. And then again, you just need to figure out the reciprocal of 2/1, of 1/2, 7, 1/7, 10/1, or 1/10. Because again, they're all equal to 1, so you need to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, box and whisker plots to interpret data. Okay, so a box and whisker plot, if you notice, okay, we got our box here, and you're going to think of these as your whiskers. Okay, now breaking down a box and whisker plot, okay, the very left whisker, okay, right here, that's your minimum value. So we're going to be given a data set, and the smallest value, that is where that goes. Okay, maximum, max, that's the largest number. Okay, and then for the actual whiskers between the box and the whiskers, okay, that's where how you're going to break up your data. Okay, the first quarter of your data is going to be on that left whisker. The upper quarter, that's going to be on the right side of your whisker, and then the middle numbers, that's where you find the box, okay, the middle half of the data. Okay, so looking here, you know, we got all this data. Luckily, it's in numeric order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We got 15 data points, okay? Now, median, okay, median's right in the middle. If you notice, okay, they got it marked here, 94, okay? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that 94 for Ryan, that is the middle data point. Okay, that is what we call our median. Okay, now the median always goes, since it's in the middle of the data, will always fall inside of the box. Okay, so if we look at this new data set, okay, again, it's in numeric order. They have it set up. Okay, the minimum number is 20. Okay, so on their number line, that left whisker is at 20. Okay, and that's where we're getting this. Okay, and then median, they found to be in between there. Okay, this is where it's a little more difficult because we have 8 data points here, so there's no actual middle value. So you take those 2 middle ones, which is where I drew the red line there, and you're going to take the average. What's right in the middle of 23 and 25 is 24. So that is our median, and that's where we find this. Okay, maximum of 80, and that's all we're going to worry about for right now. Okay, so problem solving activity, page 17. What are the mean and median for this data set? So in order to find the mean, what we need to do is we need to add up all those values and then divide by the number of values that you have. So in this case, when we add up those values, you're going to get a value, and then we're going to divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So add them up and divide by 15, and your mean is going to be, let's see here, 56. And then luckily, in this case, the median is given to us right here, 59. Okay, it's that middle value for Joshua. Okay. So describe the difference in the way the data are grouped in the lower quarter and the upper quarter. Okay. Now, if you notice, the whisker on the left side is a lot longer than the whisker on the right. So for this, the data in the upper quarter are much closer. Okay, there's a smaller range between all of those numbers. So if you notice, 40 and it goes up to 53 in our first quartile. Okay, and then 63 and 62. Okay, there's not as much spread. That's why it's closer together. Okay, which of these students has a more extreme time, Deanne or Marcus? Okay, explain why using the box and whisker plot. Okay, Deanne, which we have right here. Let's do this in purple. Deanne, and then we also have Marcus. Okay. Now, median, you got to remember, median's in the middle. Okay, and our mean is somewhat close to that median, so that's our middle of our data. Now, so extreme, if we're talking about extreme, who is further away? Okay, so in this case, Marcus is further away from that median or mean compared to Deanne. So we're going to say Marcus has a more extreme time because he is so far away from everyone but Seth. And we say Seth because he's the other one that is so much further away. Okay, Seth had 40, Marcus had 41. Now that's not the only way to word that answer. There are many ways you can do that. Okay, it's not one specific answer. So your homework for this lesson is lesson 6. Okay, under your unit 1 homework, scroll down to lesson 6. That will be your homework. If you have any questions, make sure you ask in class. Have a good day.